I was standing outside my own bedroom door when I heard him say it. He's damaged goods. You deserve better. My name wasn't spoken. It didn't have to be. The door was slightly ajar. A sliver of light cut across the hallway carpet like a surgical incision. Inside, I heard the soft rustle of sheets, my sheets. My wife didn't laugh. That hurt more than if she had. There was a pause. A long one. The kind that carries agreement. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. My hand rested calmly in my pocket, fingers wrapped around my phone. Recording? The device had been placed under the bed 2 nights ago. A quiet decision. A contingency. I told myself it was paranoia. It wasn't. He's weak. The man continued, confident, clinical. Men like him cling to routine because it's all they have left. Routine. That's what 27 years of loyalty had been reduced to. My wife exhaled, soft, intimate, not defensive, not outraged, just complicit. I stepped back into the darkness of the hallway and pressed save. I had suspected for months. The late shifts that smelled faintly of cologne that wasn't mine. The sudden gym memberships. The way she angled her phone away from me like it carried state secrets. But suspicion is a coward. It hides behind excuses. She deserves space. I've been distant. It's just stress. That night I stopped lying to myself. Her lover was a surgeon. Respected. Decorated. The kind of man who shakes hands firmly and maintains eye contact while he dismantles your life behind closed doors. I'd met him once at a charity gala. He'd smiled at me. I remember thinking he had steady hands. Of course he did. He used them to cut people open for a living. I didn't confront her. I made breakfast the next morning. Eggs, toast, coffee exactly how she liked it. She kissed my cheek. I tasted betrayal on her lipstick. You're quiet, she said. Just tired. That was true. Tired of pretending I didn't see the fractures. She left for work at 10. I went into the bedroom. The air still carried unfamiliar cologne. I stood there for a long time. Then I checked the mic. Crystal clear. I became methodical. Phone records first. A shared cloud account she'd forgotten about. Deleted messages don't vanish. They simply relocate. Hotel confirmations. Private numbers. Medical conferences that didn't exist. He saved her under a false name. Amateur mistake. I never raised my voice. Never changed my schedule. Routine. He was right about that. But he misunderstood it. Routine is camouflage. I learned his patterns. Surgery days, administrative meetings, board appearances. He was meticulous in his profession, careless in his arrogance. The audio file became my anchor. I replayed it at night, not out of masochism, out of focus. He's damaged goods. The irony almost made me smile. 3 years ago, I had survived a cardiac episode. Stress-induced, they said. Recovery changed me, slowed me down. Apparently, it made me disposable. While gathering evidence, life continued to mock me. On the eve of Thanksgiving, my daughter-in-law called. If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes. She shouted over the phone, laughter spilling behind her. We're busy. Busy. I stared at the skyline outside my office window. I won't be coming, I replied calmly. Enjoy. She scoffed and hung up. 2 hours later, I posted photos. My villa in Switzerland. Glass walls. Snow-capped mountains. A cellar of rare wine. The life I had quietly built while everyone assumed I was damaged. My phone rang 71 times that night. Family. Curiosity is louder than love. I silenced it. Back to more important matters. The surgeon had a morality clause in his contract. Hospitals care deeply about reputation, especially when donors are involved. And I happened to be one. The meeting with the hospital director lasted 12 minutes. I didn't sit. I placed my phone on his desk, pressed play. The room filled with the sound of my bedroom. My wife's breathing, his voice. Confident, dismissive, cruel. He's damaged goods. The director's expression shifted almost immediately. Not moral outrage, calculation. When it ended, silence expanded between us. Where was this recorded? He asked carefully. In my home, I replied. He nodded slowly. Is there more? Yes. There was photos, messages, evidence of an inappropriate relationship with a donor's spouse. Me, I didn't threaten. I didn't raise my voice. I simply stood there. He understood. By the time I reached the parking lot, the surgeon's career was hemorrhaging. I waited until evening. She was in the kitchen when I walked in, humming, comfortable. "I met with your friend today," I said. She froze. "What friend?" I placed my phone on the counter, pressed play. Her face drained of color as her own bedroom betrayal echoed back at her. She reached for the phone. I moved it away. "No," I said softly. "Listen." When it ended, she looked small, fragile. "It's not what you think?" "It's exactly what I think." I handed her an envelope. Inside was a printed article. "Prominent surgeon resigns amid ethics investigation." Her hands trembled. "You destroyed him." "No," I replied evenly. "He destroyed himself." She stared at me like she was seeing me for the first time. "Good. Are you leaving me?" she whispered. I considered the question. I already did. The Switzerland villa is quiet this time of year. Snow absorbs sound, even regret. My phone doesn't ring anymore. They learned. Love, I've discovered, is often confused with access. Access to money, to stability, to routine, damaged goods. I sit by the window with a glass of wine and watch the mountains bleed into dusk. I don't feel triumphant. I feel precise. They mistook my silence for weakness. They mistook survival for decay. They mistook routine for dependence. What they never understood is that a man who has already faced death doesn't fear losing people. He simply adjusts the terms. And when I finally turned off the lights in that bedroom for the last time, I didn't feel broken. I felt upgraded.